According to history, it is unusual for a chief of the ancient Benin kingdom to have a male child and not give him a native name. Therefore, it is very clear that from the onset, there is no way Ezechima would be of Benin ancestry, but a full-time Igbo chief with a history of Benin migration. Ezechima of Igbo descent was a powerful spiritualist who left the ancient Benin kingdom to return to Igbo land as a result of a clash he had with the Oba of Benin and his brother Bunlawa. According to Michael Crowder's Story of Nigeria, Ezechima was from Aro in present-day Abia State. He left Aro for Benin for the purpose of collecting slaves from the Benin kingdom and also to establish an agency of the long Juju shrine of Arochukwu. It is worthy of note that in the days of old, whenever a spiritualist travels to a distant land, he reports his arrival to the local chief or the spiritual head of his host community. In accordance with this belief, when Ezechima arrived in Benin, he reported himself to the Oba of Benin, who accepted him as his guest. With time, he settled in Benin and worked as a native doctor and an agent of the long Juju shrine of Arochukwu. The Oba of Benin was immensely impressed by the magical and spiritual power of Ezechima and soon moved on to install him as a chief in his palace. Thus, the plain, blunt, and ordinary native doctor who left Arochukwu to establish an agency of the Juju shrine earned the chieftaincy title and became Chief Chima or Ezechima. Having planted his feet firmly in Benin, he sent for his brother Ekensu and other relatives from Arochukwu. With time, the influence of Ezechima and his spiritual powers expanded down to the present-day Niger Delta among the Urobos and Ishekiris. The greatest index of Ezechima's influence in the Benin culture is the fact that the people of Benin adopted the Igbo days of week, Eke, Orie, Afo, Nkwo, as their own days of the week. According to Wellington Ibumbo, who from his maternal lineage belonged to one of Benin's traditional chieftaincy families, Chief Gaius Obaseki family, Obaseki was the Iyase or Prime Minister of Benin in 1947. As Ezechima's influence grew in the Benin kingdom, so did the population of his settlement expand. He was so influential and absorbed into the Benin culture that there was hardly anything the Benin natives could do that Ezechima and his people could not do. The conflict between Ezechima and the Oba of Benin ensued when the mother of the Oba of Benin, Asije, encroached into one of the lands that was allocated to Ezechima and his people. Unfortunately, she was harassed out of the land, and in the retaliation, the younger brother of the Oba of Benin, Bunlawa, who was also the Benin warlord, accompanied by his soldiers, stormed Ezechima's settlement and killed some of his men, while a few others were injured. The harassment went on, and Ezechima's people were then forced to leave Benin and seek a new settlement in a place far from the reach of the Oba and his brother. On their way out of Benin, some of Ezechima's people settled at Abo, 44 miles away from Benin. Others went beyond this distance and settled in Iseluku, Onicha Lona, Onishubo, and Obio. When they got to the west bank of River Niger, another group took a canoe and paddled down the river to Abo and settled there. Led by Oreze, the eldest son of Ezechima, the remaining group crossed the river Niger to the eastern bank and settled among the Oze people, the original inhabitants of what is today the big and commercial city of Onicha. Having been a part of the Benin Kingdom for years, Ezechima's people learnt a lot and adopted the Benin chieftaincy titles, while the Benin Kingdom adopted the Igbo days of week from Ezechima. This is why there is a lot of similarities in the cultures of the Benin and Onicha people. So what this article is trying to say is that the Igbo Delta people, the Abo and the rest of them, Anioma, Iseluku, Onisha Lona, and the Onisha in Anambra said that they are not actually from Benin, but they crossed Benin, went to settle, and they returned. Just like in one of his narration, Obi of Onisha said, they are not from Benin. They went out, they came back. There's a connection to Aroshuku, and just like you also say, Ibus or people, Ibusa, there are Ibus or people traveling, Igbos traveling, and they settled. We are not imposing on anybody through this material. Add your comment, tell us what you think about the story, and please share widely